us from getting to where God has appointed us. It can delay our progress. It can delay where God has us desire us to be for the advancing of his kingdom. As I shared on last week, that in-between phase, that is the complicated phase. That can be the challenging phase. And we don't want let disbelief and disobedience to keep us from what God has for us. Because one of the biggest enemies that we run into when we are moving into something and moving into a place where we feel God is moving us and directing us is that he will use doubt, he will use anger, he will use fear, he will use betrayal, and he will use pride to nullify the promise that God has for you. God told you to move, but you doubted the move. You doubted your qualifications. You doubted the available resources. You doubted that God could take the impossible and make it possible. Doubt and disobedience can all affect whether or not or when we get into our promised land. The children of Israel, their problem was this. They left Egypt, but they still had a slave mentality. It took them only one day to get out of Egypt, but it took 40 years for Egypt to get out of their minds. What we don't want to do is be stuck in the in-between. We don't want to be stuck in a place because we don't trust God, that we don't believe that he can provide for us and do what is necessary for us in order for us to prosper in the place where he is appointing us. God wants us to trust him completely. He wants us to really put all our all into where he wants us to go and for us to trust and to believe that he will get us to our appointed destination. Because, see, it disturbs God when we don't trust him. He's trying to free us, and we refuse to vote. He's trying to bring us out of this pandemic, and we politicize everything from the vaccine to the mask. God is trying to make a move, but we can hinder the move. God has a position. He has a position and a